So in my last video, I spoke about Shimmer's origins and the situation between Piltover and the people in the Undercity, or as the series now refers to as the people in the Fissures. Of course, if you're here, you've probably already seen the spoiler warning, but just to make sure, you can take a pause here if you haven't seen the episodes yet and come back right after. Also, some of the topics covered in the video will touch on the possibilities in the future episodes of Arcane. Alright, I've given you enough warning, so let's get started. Since then, episodes 4 to 6 of Arcane had just been released and were being shown what seems to be a time skip of a few years since the events of episodes 1 to 3. Here, we see the progress Hextech has made over the years, with what each of the characters have been doing since then, and we're also shown a few developing relationships between these characters, some of which may be a bit more than the others. Talk about TMI, am I right? But more importantly, we're introduced to a new group called the Firelights, as well as how Shimmer began spreading through the streets of the Undercity, now being used in many different various ways. So who are the Firelights? A third party that seems to be against both Silco's gang as well as the Piltover enforcers. Courtesy of Marcus being in cohorts with Silco, the Firelights seem to be adamant to disrupt and destroy the production and spread of Shimmer. A noticeable trait amongst the Firelights would be their young age, as one could assume that the Firelights are the children of the Undercity against the corruption that both Silco and Shimmer bring about. For now, we don't know much about the entire group, as they were only shown twice in the series, once at the beginning of Act 2 where they were against Jinx and Silco's gang, and at the end of Act 2 when they were against Vi and Jinx alongside Caitlyn. But funnily enough, we're given a lot to work with their leader based on what we've seen so far, and we're given enough to the point where I might just have an idea on who their leader could be. Backtracking to the episode where the Firelights first made their appearance, we can see that we're being shown the leader of the Firelights and his pocket watch. At first, I was wondering, why the emphasis on the pocket watch in his initial shot? And clearly the leader of the Firelights seemed to have an aversion towards killing, as it seems they use non-lethal methods as a means to incapacitate the guards on the ship. Not only that, we're also shown that the same leader generally seems to care for his team, as seen as to how he was sent into a rage after one of his lieutenants was killed by Jinx. Later on, we see the same leader following Caitlyn and Vi near Vi's old home, silently following them but never getting in their way nor getting too close. Question is, how exactly did he find their whereabouts? In addition, why would he have any incentive to follow them in the first place? Yeah, you could make the argument that it was Caitlyn being an enforcer and Vi being one of Vander's children, making them a high priority target as they were running away from Silco's gang. But why would he follow them alone? Even more so, when the Firelights made their second appearance as a group, they continued to avoid killing both Caitlyn and Vi, instead kidnapping them and running away from the scene as Jinx fired upon them as they disappeared into the night. So what do we know so far? Well, the leader cares for his team as well as the people in the Undercity itself, since he is so adamant on disrupting the spread of Shimmer, which is now becoming an addictive stimulant running rampant in the lanes and the rest of the Undercity. We can see the end result of Shimmer addiction in the scene where Vi had reached her old home, and we can see the victims of said addiction as they turn into desperate addicts towards the drug. We also know he must have some knowledge as to who Vi is, as he spends some time following her and avoids killing her despite Vi clearly being on Jinx's side at one point and fighting against them. One last thing we can note is that the leader of the Firelights seemed to fight with a makeshift club. Now, if we put them all together and we try to make an assumption as to who the person could be, who the leader of the Firelight is, we can try to guess is... Ding ding ding, that's right, Echo. One thing to note is that although we're being shown what every character seems to be doing after the time skip, the only one who's been missing from the series so far is Little Man, also known as Echo, with Little Man being a nickname given to him by Vi and her friends back in Act 1. But let's return back to the main point. Another thing we can also note is the opening of the series, where each and every of the champions present in Arcane from League of Legends were shown in the series' opening, with Jace and Victor being in their academy uniforms, Caitlyn being an enforcer, Heimerdinger, which by the way has one of the coolest shots ever that really emphasizes the power of his mind, and at the end with Vi and Jinx fighting each other. We're all shown each and every champion because of how important they are to the story and, well, being a cameo from League of Legends. We're shown each and every one except for one. Echo. Unless he is being shown, just hidden in plain sight. Another thing we can add to solidify the idea of the Firelights leader being Echo is the focus on his pocket watch in the initial shot where we first meet him, which we can correlate with time. If you're wondering why I'm bringing up time, dear viewer, if you're not familiar with League of Legends, Echo's entire champion concept and his kit has everything to do with time, from rewinding it to freezing it as well. Of course, we haven't seen the Firelights leader do all that yet, but we also have not seen Vi take up her iconic gauntlets and start beating the crap out of Silco's goons. So Echo's development most likely is in the works and will come in time. And so with all that being said, what does that mean for the next episodes of Arcane? Well, Vi would probably be angry at Echo at first for disrupting their little family reunion, to which we could argue that Jinx isn't really in the best mindset for a sisterly reunion. Next, they may also form some sort of alliance to go against Silco and his criminal empire, adamant on taking him down together and stop, well, the effects of Shimmer and free her sister from Silco's control. Only time will tell if their efforts will bear fruit, as we'll never know what can really happen next in the series. Meanwhile, a new threat is slowly brewing in the shadows.
Join the glorious evolution.
So we're here with the next 3 episodes coming just right around the corner. I can't wait to finally see Vi with her Atlas gauntlets and Jace with his Hextech hammer, as much as I hate the guy. If you watch the entirety of Act 2, you can understand my sentiment for doing so. With that being said, there's still a lot we can cover that's being shown in Arcane, so if you have any suggestions for what I should cover next, be sure to comment down below and I might feature you in the next video if I do take your idea. I do read and respond to your comments, you know, they're not left in the dust where no one sees them. Also, at this point I'm sure everyone thinks that Vander is Warwick, so I don't think I'll be doing a video on that, but a quick fun fact on those who do believe that the Vander is the dreaded werewolf. If you look closely in the opening, in the scene where Vander was initially holding Jinx and Vi in his palm, as the camera slowly pans out and reveals Silco behind him and smoke follows thus after, if you look closely in said smoke, within this smoke, there seems to be a pair of eyes staring back at us. A detail I noticed after watching the opening a few times for this theory, of course. Could this be perhaps hinting to the fact that Silco is the one that brings about Warwick's existence and, well, Vander becoming Warwick in the end? Well then, for now, I'll have to end the video here, folks. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. My name is Mono Virtuoso, and I'll see you later. Peace out.